Everyone fears loneliness. It's one of our most primitive, deepest fears. The idea of being alone, disconnected, isolated, it terrifies people. But what if I told you that the deepest connection you can make isn't with another person, not with a partner, a friend, or even your family? What if the deepest, most transformative connection you can experience is with yourself through the power of true solitude? We spend our entire lives seeking external validation, looking for approval, seeking connection, avoiding being alone. But this keeps us dependent, fragmented, lost. In this video, I'm going to show you how to find genuine clarity and inner peace. Not through more people, more connections, more stimulation, but through less. Through silence, through deliberately stepping away from the world's demands and embracing the quiet. Stay with me, because this is going to challenge everything you've been taught about loneliness, connection, and what it really means to be whole. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you were truly alone? And I'm not talking about being physically alone in a room. I'm talking about truly alone. No phone, no notifications, no background music, no podcast, nothing to distract you from yourself. For most people, the answer is never, or at least not in recent years. We live in a world of constant connection. You wake up, and the first thing you do is check your phone. WhatsApp notifications, Instagram, email, news. Before you even get out of bed, you're already connected with dozens, maybe hundreds of other minds. You go to the bathroom, take your phone, eating, scrolling through the feed, in traffic, podcast, or music. Before sleeping, one more social media check. Never in human history have we been so connected and at the same time so disconnected from ourselves. And here's the problem. Most people confuse solitude with isolation, with loneliness, with being lonely, rejected, unwanted. But solitude, true, intentional solitude, is nothing like that. Solitude isn't being antisocial. It's not depression or avoidance. Solitude is a deliberate and powerful practice of reconnecting with your own essence, away from the noise, from expectations, from the social masks you wear all day. It is the difference between being alone because nobody wants you versus choosing to be alone because you value your own company. One is rejection. The other is power. And the modern world has done an incredible job of convincing us that any moment without external stimulus is wasted time. That boredom is bad, that silence is uncomfortable, that being alone with your thoughts is something to be avoided. Lies, all lies. The truth is that most people fear solitude because they fear confronting who they really are when nobody is watching, when there's no performance, when there's no distraction. But it's exactly in that confrontation that real transformation happens. This isn't a new idea. Solitude as a path to wisdom is one of humanity's oldest and most universal concepts. Let's go back in time. The Stoic philosophers Marcus Aurelius, Seneca all practiced deliberate periods of retreat and solitary reflection. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Meditations, one of the most influential philosophical texts ever written, as a private journal during his moments of solitude. He was the most powerful man in the world at the time. Emperor of Rome, could have any company he wanted, but he regularly chose to be alone, in silence, confronting his own thoughts. Why? Because he understood that self-knowledge only comes in the absence of external distractions. Buddha, before achieving enlightenment, he spent years in meditative solitude. It wasn't by talking with wise monks or reading sacred texts that he found the answers. It was sitting alone under a tree in absolute silence, confronting his own mind. Henry David Thoreau, one of America's greatest writers, deliberately built a cabin in the middle of the forest and lived alone for 2 years, not because he hated people, but because he wanted to live deliberately, as he said, away from society's distractions and demands. The result? Walden, one of the most profound books ever written about self-discovery and intentional living. Monastic traditions in all religions, Christianity, Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, all have practices of solitary retreat. The Christian desert monks in ancient Egypt, the Hindu sadhis in the Himalayan mountains, the Islamic Sufis in their khalwas, or isolation retreats. Why? Because through millennia of human experience, completely different cultures on different continents reach the same conclusion. Solitude isn't punishment. It's a portal. It's the portal to mental clarity, to profound creativity, to genuine self-knowledge, to inner peace. And indigenous tribal shamans, almost universally, the shamanic journey involves a period of isolation in nature. The vision quest of Native Americans, where young people spend days alone in the wilderness, fasting, confronting their fears, seeking clarity. It's not a coincidence. It's universal wisdom. But the modern world, with its obsession with productivity, networking, and constant connection, has made us forget this. It's time to remember. So, how do we begin this journey back to ourselves? It doesn't mean you have to build a cabin in the woods or retreat to a monastery for a year. It's much simpler than that. The first step is to practice what I call micro-solitude. It's about carving out small, intentional pockets of silence in your daily life. Start with 5 minutes. Just 5 minutes. Find a quiet place, your room, a park bench, even your car, and do nothing. No phone, no music, no books. Just sit or stand and be with yourself. At first, your mind will go crazy. It will scream for distraction. It will throw a tantrum. Check your phone, plan your dinner, worry about that email. This is normal. This is your mind's withdrawal from the addiction to stimulation. Your job isn't to fight these thoughts. Just notice them. Observe them like clouds passing in the sky. Don't engage. Don't judge. Just watch and breathe. And when you do this, something amazing starts to happen. After the initial chaos, a space opens up. A quiet space. In this space, you start to hear a different voice, not the voice of your parents, your boss, or social media. Your own voice, the real you, buried under layers of noise and expectations. You'll start to notice what you're truly feeling, what you truly want, what's actually bothering you. It's like letting the muddy water of a pond settle. When you stop stirring it, the sediment sinks and the water becomes clear. The benefits are profound and backed by science. Studies show that intentional solitude reduces stress and anxiety. It boosts creativity and problem-solving skills. It enhances empathy and improves the quality of your relationships. Why? Because when you're comfortable with yourself, you're not desperately seeking validation from others. You connect with people not out of neediness, but out of genuine desire. Your relationships become deeper, more authentic. You become a better friend, a better partner, a better parent, because you're operating from a place of inner fullness, not emptiness. And here's the beautiful paradox. The more comfortable you become with being alone, the less lonely you feel. Loneliness is the pain of being alone when you don't want to be. Solitude is the joy of being alone because you choose to be. By practicing solitude, you befriend the one person you're guaranteed to spend the rest of your life with. Yourself. You become your own best friend. You build an unbreakable inner sanctuary, a place of peace you can return to no matter what chaos is happening in the outside world. This is not selfishness. It's the ultimate act of self-care. So, my challenge to you today is simple. Find 5 minutes, just 5. Turn off everything. Sit in silence. Meet yourself. Don't run. Don't hide. Just be present. It might be the most uncomfortable 5 minutes of your day, but it might also be the most important. This is not about abandoning the world. It's about returning to the world more whole, more centered, and more connected to who you truly are. It's about discovering that the greatest adventure isn't out there, but in here. Start today. Your future self will thank you for it. Okay, but what really happens in your brain when you unplug and embrace true solitude? Let's dive into the neuroscience. When you are constantly bombarded with social media, work, and entertainment, your brain is in what's called the task-positive network. Think of it as your external focus mode. You're reacting, responding, and performing. But when you step into genuine solitude, without any external input, your brain switches gears. It activates the default mode network. And this, my friends, is where the magic happens. This network is the home of deep self-reflection, processing your life's memories, sparking imagination, and fostering creativity. The catch, it only truly comes alive when you're not focused on the outside world. It needs quiet, it needs rest, it needs solitude. Neuroimaging studies have shown that people who regularly practice solitary meditation have greater gray matter density in the prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain responsible for self-control, decision-making, and emotional regulation. What's more, solitude can actually reduce activity in the amygdala, your brain's fear center. This means people who take solitary retreats often show lower stress reactivity and build greater emotional resilience. But this isn't just about biology. It's incredibly practical. Think about it. How many of your best ideas have struck you in the shower, or while driving alone, or just before you fall asleep? That's your default mode network finally getting a chance to connect the dots. Albert Einstein called these his thought experiments. He'd spend hours alone, just thinking and imagining, and that's how he developed the theory of relativity. Not in a bustling lab, but in the quiet of his own mind. J.K. Rowling was sitting alone on a train when the entire world of Harry Potter seemed to appear fully formed in her head. It wasn't born in a team brainstorming session. It was born in solitude. Even Bill Gates famously takes think weeks, a full week, twice a year, where he completely isolates himself with nothing but books and his thoughts. Many of Microsoft's biggest strategic breakthroughs came from these solitary periods. Why? Because clarity doesn't come from noise. Clarity comes from silence. And this isn't just for geniuses, it's for all of us. Let me share a quick story about an executive. Let's call him Mart. He was completely burned out, working 80-hour weeks, always connected, always on. He started having panic attacks and was on the verge of quitting everything. His therapist suggested something radical, a week-long silent retreat. Alone, no phone, no internet, no books, nothing. Mark thought he would go insane. And the first 2 days were torture, pure anxiety and restlessness. But on the third day, something shifted. His mind began to quiet down. Thoughts he had suppressed for years started to surface. Clarity began to emerge. By the end of that week, he had made 3 life-altering decisions. He changed his career, ended a toxic relationship, and committed to practicing solitude regularly. 2 years later, he told me that week was the turning point of his entire life. Not therapy, not medication, solitude. Because it's in solitude that you stop performing and you finally start being. Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you cultivate real solitude in a world that seems designed to prevent it? Let's get practical. Step 1 is mindful disconnection. You need to create physical barriers between you and your distractions. This isn't about willpower. It's about smart design. Buy a real alarm clock and get that phone out of your bedroom. Seriously, your phone does not sleep in the same room as you. Create technology-free zones in your home, like the dining table and the bedroom. And here's the tough part. Schedule specific periods of total disconnection. Start small, 30 minutes a day where you're completely alone, with no devices, no music, no podcasts, nothing. Just you and your thoughts. If that sounds terrifying, good. That means you desperately need it. Step 2 is embracing the discomfort. When you first try this, you're going to feel restless, anxious, and bored. You'll feel a physical urge to grab your phone. This is normal, it's dopamine withdrawal. Your brain is trained to crave constant rewards, likes, messages, new information. The first 15 minutes are always the hardest. Your mind will race with 1,000 things you need to do. Ignore them. Just sit. Just breathe. Observe the restlessness without fighting it. Think of it like physical training. The first few workouts are painful, but if you persist, it gets easier. Solitude is mental training. Push through the initial discomfort, and you'll find calm, curiosity, and peace on the other side. But you have to stick it out past those first 15 minutes. Step 3 is finding micro moments of solitude. You don't need a monastery in Tibet. You can find these moments throughout your day. When you wake up, before reaching for your phone, just sit for 5 minutes and observe your breath. At lunch, eat alone without your phone or a book. Just you and your food. In the car, turn off the radio and drive in silence. Let your mind wander. These are just micro doses of solitude, but they add up, and here's a powerful practice. Solitude in nature. Once a week, go to a park or a trail, alone, with no headphones. Just walk, sit, and observe. Nature has a way of amplifying the benefits of solitude, reminding you that you're part of something much bigger. Step 4 is the solitude retreat. When you're ready for the next level, try a retreat. It doesn't have to be a week. Start with 24 hours. Find a quiet place, prepare simple food, and commit to being alone with no phone or entertainment. Just think, write, walk, and let time slow down. You will discover things about yourself you never knew existed. Insights will appear, decisions will become clear, and creativity will flow. As you get more comfortable, you can expand to 48 hours, a long weekend, or even a full week. Finally, step 5. Create a solitude ritual. Don't wait until you have time. You never will. Make it a sacred appointment on your calendar. Maybe it's 2 hours every Sunday morning, non-negotiable, or the first Saturday of the month is a full day personal retreat. When it becomes a ritual, you just do it like brushing your teeth. Gradually, solitude will stop being something you have to do and become something you crave, something you protect, because you'll have experienced its incredible rewards firsthand. Let's be clear. Embracing solitude doesn't mean becoming a hermit. It's not about abandoning society or developing a dislike for people. It's all about balance. You don't have to quit your job, end your relationships, or throw away your phone. Think of it as creating a rhythm in your life. Periods of engagement followed by periods of retreat, like breathing in and breathing out. You go out into the world, and then you return to yourself. And something amazing happens when you do this. When you step back into the world after some genuine solitude, you're different. You're more present in conversations because your mind isn't scattered. You make better decisions because you've actually had time to think things through. You bring more to your relationships because you aren't running on empty, expecting others to fill your cup. You will find you're less emotionally reactive because you've gotten to know your own triggers and patterns. Your creativity at work will soar because you've given your mind the space it needs to connect the dots in new ways. See, solitude doesn't push people away. It actually prepares you for deeper, more authentic connections because you've first connected with yourself. And that, my friends, changes everything. Your relationships get better because you're not desperately seeking validation from others. You don't need someone else to complete you because you're already whole. Your work improves because you gain clarity on what truly matters and what's just background noise. Your mental health gets a major boost because you have a regular practice for processing your thoughts and emotions. Instead of just bottling them up, creativity just explodes. When you give your mind room to wander, to play, to create, it will, and your resilience skyrockets. You build an inner sanctuary, a place of peace that no one can take away, no matter what chaos is happening in the outside world. This is the real promise of solitude. Not isolation, but integration. Not rejecting the world, but renewing yourself so you can return to it with more to give. Look, I get it. The idea of being alone, in silence, with zero distractions. It's scary for a lot of us. We're conditioned to believe that we always need to be doing something, connected to someone, consuming something. But here's the hard truth. You're not going to find lasting peace, clarity, or purpose out there. Not in the next relationship, the next promotion, the next purchase, or the next social media like. Sure, those things can bring a flash of happiness, but deep, lasting peace that comes from within. And the only way to access what's inside is to stop distracting yourself with what's outside. So, here's my challenge to you. For the next 7 days, I want you to find just 30 minutes for a true solitude. No phone, no music, no books, no distractions. Just you and your thoughts. You could do it first thing in the morning, latte night, or even on your lunch break in a quiet park. The when doesn't matter as much as the that. Just do it and pay attention. Notice the thoughts that bubble up, the emotions that surface, the insights that strike you out of nowhere. Then come back to this video and tell me in the comments, what did you discover? Was it tough? Was it revealing? Did anything change for you? To recap, solitude isn't about being lonely. It's a deliberate practice of self-discovery. Think about it. The greatest sages throughout history, from Buddha to Thoreau, used solitude to find profound wisdom. There's even a neuroscientific reason for this. Solitude activates what's called the brain's default mode network, which is responsible for creativity, self-reflection, and long-term planning. You can start cultivating it with small, mindful moments of disconnection. If this video inspired you to reconnect with yourself, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep exploring these powerful practices that can truly transform your life. And always remember, the most important journey you'll ever take isn't to another country or into a new relationship. It's the journey inward. And that journey begins in solitude. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.